We are happy to bring you Diego Escala interviewing Jacob from Ysbryd Games, Pedro and Tulio of Glitch Factory to talk about the upcoming action RPG No Place for Bravery.
Hey everyone, so I'm Diego Escala, Reviews Manager of MonsterVine, and I'm here with interviewing Jacob Bergs of Ysbryd
Burgess.
Games. Burgess, my mistake, I'm
Burgess,
terrible
yep.
with names.
No, that's okay. So it's Jacob Burgess with Ysbryd Games.
All right, Ysbryd.
Ysbryd.
My bad.
Bryd.
Jacob Burgess
Oh,
with
that's
Ysbryd Games. I've got
Yep.
Tulio Mendes and Pedro de la Cruz with Glitch Factory.
Pedro de la Cruz Machado.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
Pedro. It's actually Pedro da Cruz.
It's Da Cruz. Yeah,
Portuguese.
it's not,
Yeah.
Oh
it's
my
not
God. I don't have
no
my glasses
problem,
on.
dude.
That's totally fine.
No problem. It's a different name.
I mean, you might want to consider changing it. De La sounds sexy, but it's also Spanish and not Portuguese. So
I like it more,
Pedro de la Cruz. Yeah, sure.
It can be artistic.
I'm like glancing down at the little small text, and I'm from Venezuela, so I'm so used with all the names are de la. So I saw the
yep.
D, and I'm like, all right, I don't need to read the rest.
I got
apologize.
it. I fucking got it.
This interview's off to a great start.
I think so.
But we're here to talk about No Place for Bravery. It's your guys' latest game. And before we get into that, if you guys wanted to just do a quick introduction, what's your role with each of your separate companies?
Sure.
Okay. So I'm Pedro Machado. Pedro da Cruz Machado. I'm a game designer and level designer for the project, and I'm also a producer. I do some project management, and I make sure that the guys are staying on time.
Yeah, I'm Tulio Mendes. I'm the creative director and one of the artists, and I'm also making Pedro's life a little bit harder. It's kind of my job.
And I'm Jacob Burgess. I'm with Ysbryd Games, the publishing partner for Glitch Factory and No Place for Bravery. And I do my best to offer advice and do as much support as possible. So it's their game. I'm just kind of hanging out for the most part. So I'm gonna let them talk and be the wonderful, charming people I know they are.
And so with No Place for Bravery, what's a quick just overview of what the game is?
No Place for Bravery is a 2D pixel art top-down action RPG. And it tells the story of Thorn. He's a war veteran, and he goes on this quest searching for his daughter. And yeah, it's a very personal experience for us because we have invested a lot of time and effort, and yeah, I'm sorry.
And then the main theme of the game is also based on real life experiences. So, like 5 years of our life, and
Yeah, and a little bit more about our experiences. Yeah, so and it's a challenging game. But although we're also very focused on accessibility.
So I played through the demo last night. I had a lot of fun with it.
Thank you.
I kind of just went into it just raw. I didn't even look at a trailer or anything. I'm just like, this name sounds cool. Send me a demo. Let me check this out. And
That's awesome.
the Viking, it's got a bit of a Viking sort of vibe to it. How did you guys come to that sort of aesthetic, the kind of Norwegian-ish?
We began with like trying to create a game that has some common ground, So if you are familiar with this kind of game, there is something like medieval European and things like that. But we also try to put a little bit more of us, like our reference. So there is this medieval European, which is kind of general here in Brazil, but we also put a lot of Japanese and Chinese culture to the mix. There is like the environment is kind of a mix between both. And
Yeah. we pull a lot of from different cultures. So there's also a little bit of native Brazilian and Native American, I guess. So yeah, I know you picked it up this Nordic influence, but there's a lot more during the game.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, I
cool.
think the Nordic is the strongest one because of the music. You know,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
really hard on the game, and we wanted the music to have that weight. You know, it's a good way to create the right ambience and give the game the weight we want. So it's
Yeah.
kind of the in the upfront of the game right now, like the music.
Yeah, and the game, like, I mean, Brazil itself is actually not a lot of people may know that, but is very, very diverse. Like, you know, even when I went down to Sao Paulo, where you and I met, Tulio, like there's a ton. It's got the second largest Japanese population in the world, for example. Not a lot of
Really?
people know that. Like, yeah, it's there's a lot. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. We have a huge Italian and German, like I lost the word here, but yeah, you got it. It's a very
I think
diverse country.
I think
Yeah.
for our generation and the one that came before, maybe like we grow with this thing like we consume a lot of anime and manga, you know, like I think we have a lot of that in our kind of DNA, you know, like kind of giving us motivation and inspiration. There is a lot of anime and manga here.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And with the combat with it, I felt it was very difficult. Like it was very focused on parrying and
Yeah.
making sure you like watch the guy's movements, memorize how long each combo swing is. Um, I don't want to. I don't want to call it. I know a lot of people are probably gonna call like look at it and say like Dark Soulsy just because of the difficulty, but
No, we've never heard that. That's no.
yeah,
That's new.
because like that's the only hard game apparently. But when you went for that sort of style of combat, how did you go about balancing the difficulty with keeping it? Because you mentioned accessibility earlier.
Yeah, yeah.
How did you go about doing that and making it so it's difficult, but also like anyone can come in and play it?
This version of the demo that you played, it has only kind of the difficult that will be the standard difficult for the game, but of course we're gonna iterate it based on feedbacks and things that we are getting from the demo. But we want to create a, I don't know, kind of a story mode or a mode that is more accessible to a broader audience, because we started doing this, you know, thinking only in the hardcore player, you know, it has to be difficult and skilled based and things like that. But from a little while to now, like time has passed and we realize that the game is not only about the gameplay itself, but it says something that needs to be said to a broader audience. So we are kind of making it possible right now.
Okay, that's a really good way of coming at it. I never like thought of like the game development can change as you play and
Yeah, yeah.
going through it and going, you know what, actually the story is more important than the combat itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they both work together, but having a easier game, it does not hurt the vision of the project, you know? It
Yeah.
was more like us wanting to make a harder game, not the game needed to be that way, you know?
So going back earlier to what you guys said about real life experiences being part of the game, could you iterate a bit more on that? Like, are you taking like actual like things that happened in your lives that are in the actual game itself as part of the story?
So
Yeah.
everything orbitates around a single event, you know. In the end, it's a narrative event, but everything is in the game is built around it to give it strength, you know, to make it resonate to the player and things like that. And so, yeah, that's it. More is a spoiler, you know, like
Yeah, it's hard to talk about it without spoiling
yeah,
the game, but the game is
Yeah.
definitely based on some of our teammates' lives. We did a lot of soul searching. We had like countless meetings just talking about not only the mechanics and how we were going to play the game, but what we wanted to say, what we wanted to like reflect on the game. And yeah, that's why it's very personal for us, because yeah, like we put in a lot, not only time, but like our personal experiences.
One thing that I like to put when we are talking about narrative is that when in Glitch we talk about narrative, we are not talking only about the script, you know. It's narrative is everything that helps that story to happen. So gameplay and mechanics and everything is kind of building momentum to this big moment. And this moment is no place for bravery, right?
Hmm. When I played the demo, there's not a ton of like hard plot in it. It felt like a very good movie trailer where you got a very good vibe of what the full experience is going to be. Was that intentional when you were going to release that demo?
I would say yes, is that what we wanted to do with the demo is kind of present the best kind of feel, like a movie trailer. Like once you'll get a feeling for this game, you'll get an idea of the narrative, you'll get an idea of the combat. But what's really cool is that we also have a survey that's out. So if you play the game, you can give us direct feedback. One of the things that as the publisher, I love working on with Glitch, and what Glitch Factory does is iterates and takes the feedback and is constantly improving and constantly tweaking to make it what they want to be. It's kind of game development by way of sculpting.
So one final thing, just to talk about the game mechanics itself. So it's very, I don't want to say hack and slashy, but it's a very deliberate like hack and slash sort of game. But it's got there's weapon switching. You have an inventory with other items you can equip. Is there any? You have special abilities. Are there any other elements to that combat? Oh man, I just realized this might be a spoilery question. That are in like does the game expand even further than what's presented in the demo?
Yes.
Okay. that's a
Probably.
good no detail answer. Cool.
Awesome.
So just to wrap things up, so I don't take up too much more of your time, is there a estimated release date and platform list for the game?
We're aiming for about 2021. We're definitely going to be doing Steam. We're definitely going to be doing Switch, PC. Anything else, we're not quite ready to make announcements yet because we just have to take a look at a lot of boring biz dev stuff before we are ready to announce.
I just want to thank you guys for taking the time to come speak with me.
And thank you very much for watching this.
Thank you for playing too.
Again, thank you so much.